Good morning and good morning. It is Monday, October 27th, the final week of October, actually, 2025, just about 4 minutes after the hour of 8. Welcome to today's edition of Island Tea. To the regional and international diaspora, good morning. To the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, once again, a pleasant good morning. We are on your FM dial at 98.9 FM. We are being simulcast on TVC Channel 40, Facebook, as well as YouTube. Just to remind you of the numbers, if you wish to join in on the conversation or bring something pressing to the fore, our local numbers are 466-0989. In the U.S., 1-305-921-4619 or 1-718-285-6984. In the UK, 0333-440065. Good morning, Quint. How are you doing this morning?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
I am okay. Feeling a little slow as it's Monday. I don't know what about Mondays. Like, soon as you put your head down and you wake up, you gotta go again. So, it is that day of the week that we all have to stay up and pushing and start doing what we have to do, be it at work, in the house, wherever you are. Try your best to be your best today. So, Quint, how was your weekend?
As usual, well, I had a lot of work to do in terms of getting some of my landscaping done. Other than that, typical weekend, I do what I have to do and then I
Rest?
relax.
Oh, okay. Well, my typical weekend was full of work. Work, homework, outside work, all kind of work. So yeah, it was just work. We see this morning, I want to send congratulations to Khadija Mali. She represented us in the Essence and Mine pageant in St. Martin. She brought the crown home. So congratulations to you, Miss Mali. I would also like to commend the Ministry of Education for getting our students safely home from Jamaica. I see the storm winds are picking up. I see reporters are running from the sea. This lady, she was reporting, and the sea got too rough. And it's funny, I laughed. I said, boy, our color just don't play with danger, right? She just ran up and be like, yeah, I'm done with this. And the camera's falling up, and she'd be like, because the storm surge just came in, and she was like, no more of this. She ran up. So I see they're evacuating communities. I wish that the folks in those communities would take heed. They say they pass many storms. They don't really get hurricane. Some say they're going to sit and ride it out. Our students at home, I see other students there are just showing us what their government sent them in terms of stuff to survive. And yeah, so please be safe. Folks are flying out of Jamaica as well. A lot of tourists are talking about their trips being cut short and stuff, but I would prefer to be safe than worrying about my trip being cut short. I could do that again
Yeah,
some other time. My life is more
most
important.
definitely.
So, like this one couple said they came for 8 days, but they got 7. I'd be like, you got a lot. Let's go, let's go. I would have been gone. I wouldn't have been counting how much days I was there for. I just want to be out. So please, for the folks in Jamaica, batten down, take it seriously, prepare, and stay safe. Also in the Dominican Republic and Haiti, oh my gosh. I feel bad for Haiti because Haiti just continues to get licks
Yeah,
after licks after
I
licks in every
actually
area of, I want to say life.
life, yeah.
Yeah, so to the folks in the Dominican Republic and Haiti and to the all other islands that may be affected, you will be in our prayers. I prayed for them this morning. I'll continue to pray because hurricanes aren't things to play with. I see the entire administration in Jamaica is praying as well, the Prime Minister and company. So let's keep them in our prayers. I know God has been gracious to us, and let us be grateful and not ungrateful because they're passing us. We haven't had any devastations over the past few years, and I pray that it'll continue to stay that way. I don't wish it on anyone, but we just have to remember our neighbors in prayer
Yeah,
as they go through this difficult time because it's slated to be a category 4,
well,
and we see what those can do.
yeah.
Oh boy. Okay, so Quint, this morning I know we have traffic talk at 8:30, so we should see the officers by then. I just wanted to speak on AI because sometimes I go on social media and I don't know what is
True.
true and what is not true.
Yeah.
And I did not even know, because I'm not into computers and stuff like that, that AI was being worked on a very long time ago. I was actually shocked because when I I put in who invented AI into Google, and I saw it says no single person invented AI. It mentioned a couple gentlemen, so it says it was the work of many researchers. However, John McCarthy is credited with coining the term artificial intelligence and co-organized the Dartmouth workshop in 1956. I wasn't even dreamt up as yet,
Mm.
which
No,
officially
no, I.
which officially launched the field. I think my dad was 1 year old in this year, because my dad is 55. So and my mom wasn't around just yet either. So you see, I was, as you rightfully said, nowhere on the scene. Probably I was in Jesus's little mind. So which officially launched the field. Other key early figures included Alan Turing, who proposed the Turing test in 1950, and a group of researchers like Marvin Minsky, Alan Newell, and Herbert A. Simon, who were also crucial in establishing AI as a discipline. So these gentlemen were working on AI since the 1950s. So when I was thinking that AI is a thing of now that they've been conjuring up over the past years, it's been there before. And then I don't know, did we speak on the jobs that would be at risk
From AI,
with AI?
almost everything.
Except for I saw surgeons,
Oh,
builders,
okay.
and the persons who will need to make corrections when it goes wrong. So it
Mm.
pays to be in the computing field at this time. But I did remember, and
It
I'm sure
pays. It pays to have a skill.
exactly, and I was just about to say that. I'm
Yeah.
sure I said it more than a few times on this show. I remember the governor of the central bank, Mr. Antoine, saying, "We're going to have a whole bunch of educated people, and the people that are going to survive eventually are going to be the people that have skills." He didn't stop and he didn't say anybody shouldn't get an education, but he urged everyone, although you have an education, get a skill, because in the end, a skill is what is going to push you along. I don't know what skill I'm going to get though, but I'm wondering if I should go become a doctor. What you think, Quinn?
It's all up to you, my dear. I mean, you can ask advice as to what people think, but the decision is up to you.
Exactly.
Because if you are not comfortable with it, then you won't be happy in it.
Yeah. I even see Bill Gates himself. He says, according to Bill Gates, these three jobs will be the only ones to survive the rise of artificial intelligence. And this article is from October 27th, so it's 22nd, sorry, it's most recent, by Dr. Rosalia Neve. And it says, I'm just going to touch certain parts. Microsoft co-founder recently shared his perspective on what professional domains will maintain relevance as automated systems become increasingly sophisticated. His insights reveal both challenges and opportunities for workers navigating this technical transformation. According to the tech visionaries' analysis, only 3 professional sectors possess the resilience to survive widespread AI implementation: energy management, biological sciences, and artificial intelligence programming itself.
We have a caller. Good day, caller.
Caller, good morning.
Good
You're live in
morning,
Island Tea.
guys. Good morning.
Good morning
How are
to
you
you. And
doing?
I'm good. How are you guys?
I'm okay.
I'm good too.
I'm checking to make sure the phone is working because on Friday, y'all punished us with y'all
Oh,
conversation and we could not participate.
oh boy.
And contents here, read the walls. Please to go back and read in the walls because you did not read our comments.
I did eventually, I answered Gwyneth. I apologized. So, you see, because I asked it to be put on YouTube, because sometimes in conversation I don't get time to switch. So, when I did switch, I apologized to you ladies for being late to the wall. And
Yes.
just now, it crossed my mind. I said, shucks, when couldn't take a break, I have to ask him if the phone lines are working, because I didn't ask him when I came in this morning. So I'm happy that we can have you on, because we were wondering what was happening.
Well,
And then
I
eventually, Quinn caught on.
I can only know when I see the phones light up,
Mm-hmm.
and I saw it lighting up. So I remember on Friday I didn't see it lighting up at all, so I knew. Yeah.
Something had
Yeah,
to be wrong.
we missed out on the whole conversation. So y'all gotta have to do a repeat on Friday when y'all free.
Okay, I'll try to
Anyway,
come in a nice one on Friday, too.
yes, cause I'm sure you say you read me and Gwyneth conversation.
Yeah,
So
I
I'm,
did.
so I'm just calling to check sure we're connecting today.
Yes, so we
Right,
are
I'll call back.
connecting.
Have a good morning.
You
Same to
too.
you.
Morning, Gwinnett. Morning, Skeeter. So, yes, because sometimes I'm doing so much, I'm researching, I'm doing all of that, I didn't switch, because I asked folks to message us on YouTube. So you could have seen, I could have seen, but I did not remember to go over to.
I couldn't have. Well, I could see if they're on you, the numbers, but I don't get
Mhm.
into the wall. I do
Oh, you
not.
don't? Oh, okay.
I,
Yeah,
you
and
know,
I
I,
didn't go over there, so I humbly apologize. And I hope all you ladies are doing well. Auntie Katie, good morning. Kathleen, good morning. Gwinnett, good morning. Skeeter, good morning. Morning, morning, morning. Listen, Mr. and Mistress Prokop, good morning. It's nice when you go places and people like, you're the person from Islands here. I'll be like, oh, they're listening. So we appreciate you listening. We appreciate you taking your time out in the morning. Some people say sometimes they wake up in time to get us on the last
segment.
Yeah,
We have a
because
caller.
okay, caller, go ahead. You're live in Island Tea. Good morning.
Good morning to everyone.
Hi,
Good
Greg.
morning to you, Greg.
Yes, to your Catenza, to Quinton, to all the listeners out there. Now, I'm calling in to say, well, we hope and pray the best for Jamaica, Haiti, Santo Domingo, and Cuba as well. We hope and pray the best for them, where Jesus Christ is concerned, because he is in control of everything, including all of the natural disasters, so-called natural disasters. He in control of everything. As the Bible says, everything is from him, to him, and of him, and by him.
Can I ask why you call
So,
it so-called natural disaster?
yeah, because normally when people say natural disaster, they think that it's just all natural when it is not.
Okay.
It is ultimately controlled by Jesus Christ.
Okay.
You know, yeah. So people don't think in that terms when they refer to them as natural disasters. As a matter of fact, some of them are even so bold to say that God ain't have nothing to do with it. But as far as I know, well, the Bible says everything is formed by and of God. Romans 11 verse 36. So I just pray the best for all of them, and I would like to say that, as the Bible says, if we obey His word, He will bless us, and if we do not, He will curse us. And right now, in our disobedience to His word, because we are evil, wicked, perverted people, that is what and who we are. And we need to biblically repent, and we need to get back. We need to start to obey His word. And in doing that, the Bible promises that Jesus Christ will bless us. But if we don't do that, He will curse us. And because we are disobedient, while we are having all kind of evils and wickedness and sins dominating our society, our people, and so on, to our detriment, undoing, and destruction. Only Jesus Christ is the solution, and only in the Bible you read of those solutions and answers that we also desperately need as individuals and as a collective people. Okay, thank you very much. God bless. Take care.
Thank you, Greg. Alrighty, so as we continue along, and as you mentioned, Oh, I thought you were about to say something, Quinn. We have guests already? Okay. All right. No problem. I'm trying to pull up something here, so just give me a second. All right. Couldn't you have anything to add while I try to pull up what I'm looking for? Because it's not opening.
Let me see if I can play a clip here. Here we go.
He was rich, black and dangerous because he dared to invest in freedom. Born on July 4th, 1892 in Demopolis, Alabama, A.G. Gaston was the grandson of the enslaved. With only a 10th grade education, he built a black business empire during Jim Crow, starting with burial insurance for miners. By the 1950s, Gaston owned a bank, a business school, and the A.G. Gaston Motel in Birmingham. That motel became headquarters for the 1963 Birmingham campaign. He housed Dr. King, paid his bail, and financed the movement, quietly. White supremacists bombed his motel. Activists questioned his methods. But Gaston believed power came from building, not begging. "I never went into anything with the idea of making money," he said. "I thought of doing something, and it would come up and make money." He died in 1996, worth over $130 million. He showed us you don't need permission to build power, just purpose, discipline, and vision. This journey is just beginning. This is our history.
Yeah. Imagine in the 1930s, and here you have a black man who's already a multi-millionaire.
Yeah, and to me, when we look at these things of persons being multimillionaire, we really don't see people of our color mostly in the top 10. And these things weren't mentioned because it just makes us look like we know we came out of poverty because we didn't have nothing from whilst we work in the fields. When we started working now, the little we scrunched to survive with. And then I don't know, and I don't want to judge the people of the past because I wasn't there. I don't know how many people made wise.
A lot made wise decisions. You see, this is why we need to know our history. If you've heard about Black Wall Street, if you've heard about
I've heard of that.
different places where we built up cities, we had big commerce, and the United States of government bombed us out. Bombed them out.
Oklahoma had a
Flooded out cities. I mean, look at what is happening in the Caribbean today. Colonialism is still going on. Imagine Venezuela has oil, and the United States wants Venezuela's oil, and they would move to the extent where they move this war on drugs. Look up war on drugs in the United States and see what they did to black people with the war on drugs. They came, they said, we're going to get down on drugs, but they only picked out people of color to use for the war on drugs. Fill up their prisons with black people. I mean, we need to know our history. Sometimes, you know, when people say, especially a lot of Caucasian people say, oh, you're always lamenting, you know, pull up yourself by your bootstrap. Every time history shows we've pulled up ourselves by our bootstrap, they knock us down. They bomb us out. I mean, the Caribbean is a sovereign community. We are supposed to be independent. They had the Dragon Oil deal with a former prime minister, and all of a sudden, Trump gets in, he crushes the deal, and then he wants to get rid of Madeira so that they can take over the deal and control your oil in your place. This is what is happening in the Caribbean, and our leaders had better wake up. So that is to answer your question. If way back in the 1930s, blacks were becoming millionaires, use your rational thinking and ask yourself, why is it that we aren't where we should have been? Because every time we get there, they bomb us, they knock us down, they castrate us, they hang us, they do all kind of thing to us to send a message, you're not supposed to be up there. You would think that if a people feel that they are superior, they would compete with you on the same level as normal. If you're excelling, excel too. You understand? Not when you're excelling, they kill you.
Oh boy.
Don't even get me started with this thing, see?
I just
This is
got
why
to say-
people need to know their history. People
Yeah.
know your history. Young people know your history. Don't feel that we are where we are because we lack pride and we lack drive.
And I think in 2022, our color, let me not, because I don't want anybody to say, okay, in 2020, I felt that my race was poised to be in an excellent financial position, and I honestly feel all the plans that we had to go over and say we were going to do this, we were going to do that,
Yeah.
they saw it, they saw what was going to happen, and they shut us down.
That's what they do.
That's
We
how
have
we
a
felt.
caller. Hello, caller.
Hi, good morning, Quint. Good morning, Cortesia.
Good morning, how are you?
Africa.
Giving thanks for life, another morning and another conversation.
Yeah, man.
Quint, Cortesia, I had access to what an expert or some expert, persons who are out there and persons who would have perused and gleaned the documents in a more thorough manner.
What
The
documents?
document, that specific document, the SSZ,
Okay.
which should not go on the back burner. Let's
Definitely
keep it
not.
on the front page.
Yeah.
And so they were speculating. I heard a lady on a small video was asking, who signed such a document? And they was analyzing the disparity in terms of, okay, you know, it has performance clause and the likes. We remember with the Stanford building. And so it has certain things in regulation when you're coming up with massive projects of that magnitude
Yeah.
as to what would be the investment from an investor's perspective as opposed to what would be the investment from a governmental perspective, what would be their invested interest and the bottom line, the financial input into those investments and the overall financial, monies, And it is said that the lady asked, well, who would have signed such a document with such a disparity that if the government forfeit, the investors put a figure.
Mm-hmm.
And if the investors forfeit, the government put a figure. It's all sounding good. Figures are there. But the disparity, the lopsidedness in terms of the figure, because when the lady said, well, all right, $23 billion, the guy said 23 US billion dollars, as opposed to $75 million.
You know something, Africa? I keep hearing that, but I've not seen the documents, and I find it hard to believe that this is actually in a document that any one of our leaders sign off on. This is why, if that is true, this cements what I say when I say they do not have negotiating skills. I mean, this is absolutely ridiculous. This is so ridiculous that, let me tell you, you can get out of this, I mean, yeah, you signed off on it, but this is so ridiculous that you can get out of it. But you will have to use your tact, you will have to get some good lawyers and attack it from all fronts. But I can't believe. This reminds me of when I saw the document for Christoph Harbour. It's the same thing I asked myself. It was the same thing that Dwyer asked himself. Dwyer was sitting over there where Cartencia is. I was over here. And we asked each other the same question. How could someone sign off on something like this? This is why I keep saying that even though we have a present prime minister, we see things reminiscent of a former prime minister. So it seems as if though a former prime minister, this is my speculation, is running things. Go ahead.
And all of that speculation and questions was asked that um, there is a previous administration, but according to how things is going, this previous administration have a real scandal on their hands, an albatross, so to speak.
So can I ask a question?
Let's say another, pardon me?
Go ahead. I'll ask a question afterwards.
Yes, let's say another administration comes into office and decide to repeal the act through legislation. This is what the country, the next administration, and the country in general will have to deal with, irrespective of whose administration it is, whose political party or parties.
But Africa, you see, even though they say contracts are binding, there are certain things that are so ridiculous. I tell you what I would have said, I would have said, look, somewhere in the negotiation, it sounds ridiculous, but that is the first tact I will use. Somewhere in the negotiations, this slipped me, because if I had seen it, I would not have signed off on it, and this is why I want to make a redress to it.
All right. I want to hear Hortensia's thoughts. She wanted to ask a question. Hortensia.
I wanted to ask the figures as in terms if it doesn't work out for us, and the figures for the developer if it doesn't work out.
Yeah. Like Quinn said, and I agree with Quinn, I just wanted to just bring it forward, though. Oh. I am not privy to the document.
Okay.
I've heard it discussed on other stations, and if I remember correctly, it's somewhere in the vicinity of 17 million, or between 17 to 20 something million if the investors default, and up to 20 something billion if we default. So you see the disparity?
So what?
Big time.
You see the disparity? Between 17 to 20 million US if they default, and somewhere in the vicinity of 20 something, maybe as much as 30, but in that proximity, billions. The emphasis here is millions and billions.
And then the conversation I heard, when the lady asked about the 23 billion, the other person reiterated that it's in U.S. currency by saying U.S.
Yeah.
23 billion U.S.
We have easy currency here.
Anyway, on the job, so
okay.
I making a run.
Well, thanks for your interjection there. We're going to take a bit of a commercial break, and we'll be right back. The officer should be here. We haven't heard anyone as yet. Okay. We'll play it by ear.
Found the sound 98.9 FM.
Here are your Horse's Value Mart IGA specials, running October 16th through the 29th. Now, our Value Club Blue Tag specials. Blue Ribbon Ice Cream, just $32.99. Morning Star Meatless Entrees, $20.99. Planet Oat Milk, $11.99. Chobani Greek Yogurt, just $5.69. Banquet Chicken Tenders and Nuggets, $24.99. Essential Everyday Dry Roasted Peanuts, $12.99. And now, our very low weekly value deals. Essential Everyday Pastas are just $4.99. Imperial Margarine, $8.99. All Orchard Apple Juice Cocktails and 100% apple juices, $9.99. VO5 Shampoo and Conditioner, $5.99. Gain Dish Detergent, $8.49. Arm & Hammer Deodorant, just $8.99. Shop Smart, Shop Value Mart. Sea listo y haga sus compras aquí en Value Mart.
protection, you need one who you can trust. To secure your investment, you need one who'll do you just. TDC Insurance, you're the one that you can trust. TDC Insurance, you're always safe with us.
TDC Insurance is your go-to insurance company for all your insurance needs. We take pride in offering you the best solutions and ensuring our customers are fully satisfied. TDC Insurance, we take good care of you, guaranteeing you peace of mind.
You're always safe with us.
Mommy, are you writing to Santa too?
You have Santa. I have CIBC Caribbean. CIBC has sweetened the season so you can bring your holiday dreams to life and wrap a new home or land with incredible cashback deals. Plus, your approved loan gives you a chance to win up to US $5,000. Apply now at www.cibccaribbean.com/sweeten the season. Terms and conditions apply.
And we're back on Island Tea, just about 37 minutes after the hour of 8. We have Officer Maguire in the studio with us this morning, and we will continue on the topic of the traffic radar. So, Officer, good morning again.
Morning.
Welcome. How are you doing today?
I'm doing very fine, very blessed. And
Amen.
yes.
So, you said we're going to continue speaking about the traffic radar.
Right, the photo radar. But I don't know, Cartensi, as a journalist, what is the feedback you've been getting?
Well,
in terms of the questions and so on, if there are any questions.
I have one question in particular. How are the bikes? Because the bikes are still speeding. How are they ticketed? Because they don't have. Do the bikes have license plates?
Yeah, I think they have license plates to the back, to the rear, but it might be a challenge because sometimes for some motorcycles, I think how the rear is set up, it might not accommodate a license plate. So that might be a challenge, and that's a good question and concern, because the intention is to capture every vehicle. And so we don't want any vehicle to be eluding us. So I'll have to look into that and see how that can be taken into the whole picture.
Okay. Since the cancellation of all those tickets that were issued before, have there been any issues of tickets recently?
You mean if we have issued more tickets?
Since the cancellation of the
just
previous
about
ones.
the same amount.
But I see people creeping.
Huh?
I see people creeping. People are creeping on the Kim Collins Highway. We're creeping on, I say we're because I'm included in the creeping. We're creeping on the main road
People
there
are
by
creeping
Nevis.
where they suspect the camera to be located.
Oh.
But the thing about it is that the photo radars, they are not static. And we said that to the general public. It's not hidden information. We are not on the crest to get your moment, neither are we doing this as a revenue earner, to raise revenue.
Because most people say that.
Right, but I really want to dispel that account. That's a fallacy in terms of that. It is really a wider part of our road safety strategy based on our statistics last year in terms of the number of road accident and the proportion of fatal accident of that number of road accident. It's been over 1,000, and we would have had I think.
We're having an earthquake. Yeah.
Yeah.
My God. Yeah. Literally going through an earthquake.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we would have had, I think.
Yeah,
yes,
you didn't?
But the table was rocking.
Bless your soul. This whole side is rocking, lights, everything rocking, and that's why I look that way to make sure it's not
so I
just...
look at Cartes, Cartes look at me,
Like,
look back at me.
Yeah, because I'm like, do you feel that? In my head, I didn't want to say it out loud.
Right.
Wow.
So yes, we would have had 11 fatalities last year, and so there have to be ways of curbing the incidence of accidents, because we recognize that speeding is a major contributing factor in these accidents. We would have looked at research and studies that shows that at certain speed you have, at the point of collision, that you have the severity of the damages and also the injuries. I would have looked at a study where at 40 miles per hour, what the impact in terms of damage can produce, and the injuries. And it gets to as it gets to a higher speed, the damages are more severe, and the injuries are very catastrophic in terms of nearing, in some cases, if not fatal, very, very lifelong and life-lasting injury in terms of recovery back to normalcy. And so we really wanted to change behavior in drivers in relation to that. And so the whole effort and the thrust of this initiative is really to target the reckless drivers, not the normal person who drive within a safe speed. And so I have said in time before that internally there has been a formal, by way of a memorandum, that in relation to speed in area of 20-mile zones, and it's between 20 and 40 miles that we would not prosecute. Yeah.
Caller, good morning. You're live in Island Sea.
Good morning.
Good morning.
There was a press release last week indicating that there was going to be, before the end of the month, a town hall meeting to address the issues of this issue. When is this meeting going to take place?
Yeah, he seems to have his...
We have feedback in the background. Caller, can you please turn the radio down or off? Thank you. We're getting feedback in the background. Caller, can you please turn the radio...
Hello?
Hi.
Yes. Right.
Yes.
When
is this meeting taking place?
To answer your question in relation to that, a definite date has not been determined, but in fact we recognize the need to have engagement and not consultation, but engagement from a standpoint of education and information sharing, because we recognize that there are other companies that have been making requests for more dialogue. You have the rental companies, because they are concerned as to if they rent a vehicle and their patrons have already returned the vehicle and a ticket come afterwards, how they are going to recoup their costs. And so we have been encouraging these companies they have to sit down and come up with their own internal policies as to how they are going to protect themselves in that eventually. So we are looking, we are still studying the formatting of this dialogue, whether we do it in sessions in terms of companies and the areas that we see might be challenged in terms of with respect to rental companies and even sole traders and unlimited companies where you might have employees driving on your behalf. How do you deal with that? I am aware that since this implementation that there have been some company already put in place their policy as to how they are going to treat situations like this. And so the driver, at the time when the vehicle is being ticketed, will be held accountable. And so it's things like these we are encouraging persons to put in place. So I cannot say definitively, Carla, as to a specific date, but you will be informed very shortly. The public will be notified.
So therefore, we were misled when the press release stated unequivocally that there shall be a meeting before the end of the month.
No, I don't
and
think
based
that,
on the word
that
you
would...
just used, you're suggesting that it's not a consultation, but it's basically to tell us what is your perspective. This is the challenge that we have sometimes with public authorities, of which the police department is one. The notion that we don't need to consult you, we need to tell you what we are doing, and you just better suck it up. It has been acknowledged that you are implementing speed limits, and let me stress clearly, I am just as concerned as most other motorists and pedestrians about reckless driving. However, to implement speed limits on the broad notion that every motorist, whether a visitor to the island or someone resident on the island, knows where every 20 and 40-mile limit speed zone is located is unrealistic and is unfair. We have few speed limit signs on the roads. Also, in most jurisdictions, when speed cameras are erected, right next to them is a sign telling us what is the speed limit for that area, or approaching it, so that persons are not caught unawares. But even though it is said that it is not a revenue generation, the net effect is that it is a revenue generation rather than a speeding deterrence campaign. I do not know where all the speed areas are. And as I stated in a previous contribution on this matter, the notion that every motorist is supposed to understand what is a built-up zone and what is a not built-up zone is unrealistic. I ask the question, the so-called F.T. Williams Highway, on either side are houses. It's called a highway. Does that mean the speed limit along that stretch of road is 20 miles an hour? Or is it 40 miles an hour? And how are we supposed to know if the broad definition is built up and not built up areas? There are residential houses on both areas. And so whilst we all appreciate the suspension, or you could say the voiding of all the tickets issued up until the 20th, continuing to implement the speed camera enforcement using the same principles continues to be unfair unless they are being used in areas that are quite evidently built-up areas, and so therefore the 20-mile-an-hour speed limit will be reasonable. Because otherwise, those of us who get caught will either think we are unlucky or we are being picked on when we consider the speed, the reckless, not just speeding, the reckless driving that takes place all over the place, many hours of the day. However, I look forward to a clear statement as to when these meetings will be held, rather than promising us and not delivering. And the notion that only companies, car rentals and businesses that have fleets of vehicles should somehow be consulted, and the ordinary motorist who happens to have his one motorcycle or his one $2,000 beat-up car is not as important as far as consultation is concerned. Somewhat arrogant, if I may say so. Thank you very much.
Thank you, caller. You said quite a lot. You said, and it's unfortunate that your categorization of what I have been saying and tried to convey is made it out in what you would have expressed. So let me try and bring some clarity to exactly what happens or what is happening. The reason why I said I said I do not use the word consultation, because my understanding of consultation is that when you're about to implement or before you implement something, you consult, you get feedback, and you make adjustments where necessary. And so this is not so in this case. One, speed limit has been a thing in history within the Road Vehicles and Road Traffic Act. Very long time. It's an international requirement as to where you have speed limit placed. I will agree that we do not have sufficient, we will continue to improve on the signage in areas that required signage. But you will accept and appreciate that you cannot put a sign in every area, because it comes down to the logistics, the resources, and what is the reasonable space or distance for have a signage. So that those things should be considered in relation to that. This is a new initiative, and the objective of this new initiative is behavioral change, embedded over an overall strategy of road safety. And so while I appreciate and I accept the need for ongoing education and information, I do not accept your notion that it is unreasonable and unfair not to have any sign or any prior warning as to where cameras are. And cameras will not be the warnings, because the strategy is based on an element of surprise, in the sense that you must be able to know that when you're traveling on the road, that there is a speed limit and you're required by law to drive within that speed limit. And so I don't see where there is the need for a consultation to adjust. What is going to be adjusted? There isn't anything to adjust. And caller, you might also deem my response as arrogant, but that's fine. But it's really the reality in relation to what we are achieving. And so you said a lot of things about meeting with companies, and so it's like as to suggest that we are having more people, putting more importance, and that is not so at all. What we are saying is that there is a need for engagement, and we are going to engage. Neither the information that has been put out to notify the public of this intention is misleading. I said to you that we have not yet determined the format as to which we are going to have that engagement. And so I hope that I can't respond to everything you have said, but I think that I've said enough to bring the clarity to the other listeners. Yes, caller.
Go ahead. You're live on Traffic Talk. Good morning.
Good morning, Cotton here. Good morning, officer.
Morning.
Good morning.
I have two concerns that need to be clarified. I haven't heard the full discussion, but I am in the United States, specifically in New York. And when it comes around cameras, speeding cameras, we don't know where they are until a situation happens. So that if we get a ticket, we will be identify, you get the ticket in such and such an area. And then one may inquire, where is that camera?
Mr.
So
Welcome,
I
you're
don't-
going soft.
Okay, let me just turn down my heat intensity. Like I said, one don't have to know. No one has to know where the cameras are until, should they get a ticket from these apparatus, then they will know where it is or in the range where they got it. So it's something that one have to be mindful that the speed limit is X and X, do not violate it. But the only next problem I have, are these cameras accurate in picking up beyond the speed anticipation so that one may not get a ticket under the speed limit versus over the speed limit? And how would that be dealt with? Are the cameras activated to the detail as it should? Because if one gets a ticket saying, okay, the speed limit is 25 miles per hour, and you get a ticket within the 25 miles per hour, and the camera is saying another speed limit or the radar, then that is questionable. So how accurate are the cameras? And if the cameras are accurate, then it's a good step in the right direction pertaining to caughting people at a surprise, because they should be mindful that the speed limit is X and X. Do not go over it. Stay within line. So I don't know how you will take it as a question, or how could you define that address. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, caller. I want to show the listening public that as a requirement in the law in presenting the evidence under the Evidence Act, there are certain procedures that has to be adhered to authenticate the authenticity of the apparatus, the functionability and the reliability of that apparatus. And so that is very much in consideration and has been taking place. Now, the way, should I take the call and then come back? Yeah. So the way that the photo radar function, it is a sensor. It measures speed, and so once it measures your speed, it might measure the fastest moving vehicle or the largest vehicle that is passing within the speed. So the likelihood of it to measure less than what you were driving is not possible. In fact, all of the data is inputted in the apparatus has been programmed for at certain speed and above, that is when it activated. So once it is not within that speed, nothing will happen, so you will not have a ticket.
Caller, go ahead. You're live in Traffic Talk. Good morning.
Yes, it's me again. Good morning to the officer.
Morning.
Yes, and good morning to everyone again. Yes. Now, the caller who said that you need the proper speed indications posted along the roads. I think that is a very, very good point. Very good point. Because, yes, there might be some places where it is obvious that it is a built-up area, like going through villages. But there are many other places that, is not so certain if it is by law that meet that qualification. It can get very subjective. So in order to abolish or get rid of that subjective aspect, you need the proper posting of speed limits along the roads, not just in certain areas, but in all areas, so that you could know exactly what area is the speed limit for this area and what the speed limit for another area that you might not be too sure of. So, yes, that was a very, very good point that I think the caller made, and that is needed to get to so that people can drive with certainty as to the speed limits in different areas. Because, like I said, some areas can be very subjective. Thank you.
Right. So,
Thank you, caller.
a simple way of understanding in St. Kitts under the Vehicles and Road and Traffic Act, Vehicles Road and Traffic Act, that is really two main speed limit in St. Kitts, 20 miles per hour and 40 miles per hour. And so in towns and villages in this area of Bastia and villages where they are in residence is 20 miles. In areas where they are not residential, and it is 40. Now, I know that the caller was asking reference F.T. Williams Highway in relation to Buckley's area. That's a village area. And so even though that it might be called an highway, because the highway would have started from one point and run through that village. So to that portion of area where there is residential area, the 20 miles per hour applies.
Okay, so by Cayenne Jet, and then over there we have Taylor's extension, that's residential, so that's 20 as well on that part of the highway.
Interestingly, from by the airport area coming all up, all days 40.
40,
yeah. Even until you reach the roundabout to go to Gillard's gas station, that's when it starts reducing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Caller, go ahead for Officer Maguire. You're live in Island T.
Good morning, Catencio.
Morning,
Good morning, Officer Maguire, my good friend, Sarge.
How are you doing?
And Quinn, the legendary Quinn. This is Jam Down Lil Peace, Catencio. The traffic department, along with the commissioner of police, they should have gone into the details before they bring these things. All these cameras, the public should know where they is. My family in New York could just call. You gone wrong, you know. You gone wrong. And Larry don't strength these guys is doing these things all the time. The public must be involved with what's going on. It's true. It's a money revenue thing. The government is looking money. So you can't run from it, Magoyo. Think it's people like Momo, you know, when foolish. The signs need to place in the appropriate place. And we got to get this. We're not clearing the cameras because we got to save life. But we have to do things right. Why is it you all am bringing the truth to the people? Why? They keep hiding things from people. The politicians, and they're filtering it down into law enforcement and he walking. Nothing jam down, you know. The court of conscience is not going to allow this nonsense. Vagabond behavior is not going to allow it. Good morning again, Catencio. All these doors shutters, they just loud to hear your voice. Don't let go off again. Keep us going for the rest of the year. Okay. Have a good morning, my dear.
All right, you too.
My friend Jamdong, I just want to know you to know that the public is it is a participative effort, you know. The participation that we are expecting is that people to really participate in the business of trying to save lives and drive within the speed limit. And so, yes, we are trying to be as transparent as we can. We are not basically keeping any information away from the public, except for we believe that if signs are posted that this is a speed area, persons are going to comply just to that point and go back to the same way. So we have seen it when we physically on the road. Once persons are aware that police are on the road, you will see the crawling coming towards the location of the police officer. Some people even get into accident crawling. People get into accident crawling because they're driving so slow ahead of one gazing, and then they run into the other one. because they want to comply. And then as soon as they pass the location of the police, back to the same thing. And that is why we do not share the public view of posting any prior warning to the locations of these cameras. And we have said to the public, the cameras, they will not be static, they will be moved around because we want to create the element of surprise. And that is the objective, that is the strategy, and we have to assess it and make sure that the overall objective are met. And the overall objective is behavioral change that will ultimately result in our overall strategy of road safety. This is one of the 7 pillars of the Commission of Police and the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force, the road safety. And we are adamant that we will have, just as how we work towards creating safety in the country when we were plagued with murders and we are able to have it manageable, we are adamant with the same thing with these accidents. Yes.
Caller, go ahead. Officer Maguire, live on Traffic Talk. Hi.
Good morning again. Good morning again, officer. Let me say this to Jamdong. Jamdong, take my number, 347-460-8190. I'm interested in speaking to you for a long time. But the reason why I said one have to be mindful to obey the speeding limit. So whether you know if there is a camera or not, one must be disciplined to obey the traffic rules because it's all about safety. And a camera might not be at one spot all the time. They could be moved around, especially if they are limited. Because beyond a reasonable doubt, every driver should be mindful that they must obey the traffic lights and consider your life might be in jeopardy, whereas someone else's life is in jeopardy. It's a money thing. Because if you violate and you're being caught, you will be penalized. So why do not discipline yourself? Whether you know where camera is or camera or not. You may get caught once, but once bitten, twice shy. Would you want to get caught twice? At least you suffer consequences to spread the word to others. Be aware that such thing could happen. Other than that, it is going good. I will support that. You don't have to post every location where is a camera. But you post throughout the whole island, you should have a speed limit posted.
Yes.
And if you go over that, you could be caught. Whereas if there are no camera, you could not be caught. So I don't know how limited cameras are throughout the whole island. If it's affordable or if it's not. I will leave it there. Jamdong, yes. Please call me.
Someone said that at least in some countries there are signs that says speed cameras in operation and a speed limit sign next to it. So it isn't necessarily putting a sign to say up next speed camera, but you can put signage that says speed camera and the speed limit for the area, so that people will be more cognizant.
Yeah, we can do that, and that is in consideration. A matter of fact, once we are satisfied that we have bring about that shift in behavioral change, then we can look at where you have those signs posted. And because I was in a discussion with a former police officer, and he was making the same point, and I'm saying, well, I can understand that, where you can have the camera static and you can have them in different places, and in that you can still post the warning, because it means, therefore, because you have them almost everywhere, in itself it will have people driving within the speed limit. But now is the beginning, and that is why we want to create the behavioral change. That's the whole objective of that. Yes. Yes. Right.
Okay, caller, go ahead. This is our final call for Traffic Talk this morning. Good morning. Hello? Caller, we cannot hear you. You cut out just now. Okay, all right.
Okay, so I Cartensi, I came with the intention because I recognize that part of the debate was that most vehicles, some people vehicles are in kilometers, and so they want to know how do you know the difference. So I guess at some other show that we will be able to explain to persons. But I have had persons come to traffic department and we have explained to them. A taxi driver came just last week, and I would have walked her through as to how to determine whether how you convert that kilometer into your mileage.
Okay.
And so we continue to really solicit the cooperation of the public. We like the debate, and we like the fact that persons are expressing what they think should happen and what should not happen. People have been asking about the speed limit, if there is consideration for increasing the speed limit. That is being also being considered. Not generally. We are looking at the areas that we think that the speed limit can be increased, and so it's really a work in progress.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, Officer McGuire, it's always a pleasure. Thank you for informing us today on Traffic Talk. I know there are a lot more questions out there, but as I get them, I'll save them and we can continue to discuss them.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is Win FM.
Rams the good food people, always there to serve you. Rams the good food people, locations right near you. Rams the good food people, in-store specials for you. Rams the good food people. Rams. When you need better service, Rams is always here. Better value, better prices. Rams is always here. Rewarding your loyalty. Rams is always here. We are community. We are family. We are family. Rams for you and me. We are community. Rams for you and me.
You can win more with the Mega Ball. Pick 3 and pick 4, you could get it all.
Yes, playing Pick 3 and Pick 4 with the Caribbean Lottery just got more rewarding. For just an extra $1, increase your winnings by $1,000 with Pick 3 and $10,000 with Pick 4 when you play the Mega Ball.
You ready to win a little extra? You ready to win a little extra? You ready to win a little extra? Then get on the ball.
Play Pick 3 and Pick 4 with Mega Ball at Caribbean Lottery agents island-wide. Must be 21 and over to play.
Here are your Horse's Value Mart IGA specials, running October 16th through the 29th. Now, our Value Club Blue Tag specials. Blue Ribbon Ice Cream, just $32.99. Morning Star Meatless Entrees, $20.99. Planet Oat Milk, $11.99. Chobani Greek Yogurt, just $5.69. Banquet Chicken Tenders and Nuggets, $24.99. Essential Everyday Dry Roasted Peanuts, $12.99. And now, our very low weekly value deals. Essential Everyday Pastas are just $4.99. Imperial Margarine, $8.99. All Orchard Apple Juice Cocktails and 100% apple juices, $9.99. VO5 Shampoo and Conditioner, $5.99. Gain Dish Detergent, $8.49. Arm & Hammer Deodorant, just $8.99. Shop Smart, Shop Value Mart. Sea listo y haga sus compras aquí en Value Mart.
If you need protection, you need one who you can trust to secure your investment. You need one who'll do you just. TDC Insurance, you're the one that you can trust. TDC Insurance, you're always safe with us. TDC
Insurance is your go-to insurance company for all your insurance needs. We take pride in offering you the best solutions and ensuring our customers are fully satisfied. TDC Insurance, we take good care of you, guaranteeing you peace of mind. You're always safe with us.
LNT and Quint, you know me, I like to do my research. So it was a 6.7 magnitude earthquake. And it says, and I got this, I went to looking. It's from the Antigua newsroom. It says a powerful 6.7 magnitude earthquake struck the Eastern Caribbean on Monday morning, sending tremors across several islands, including Dominica, Guadeloupe, and Antigua and Barbuda. I guess they forgot us because we felt it first, and then I look at Officer McGuire again, and it was going very lightly. So we had, maybe that was the aftershock. According to the University of the West Indies Seismic Research, the quake occurred around 8:38 a.m. local time at a shallow depth of 12 kilometers. The epicenter was located near latitude 16.50 north and longitude 59.55 west, about 222 kilometers east of Pointe-à-Pitre, Guadeloupe, 244 kilometers northeast of Roseau, Dominica, and 264 kilometers southeast of St. John's, Antigua and Barbuda. Residents across the region reported feeling strong shaking that lasted several seconds. There were no immediate reports of injuries or major damage. The UE Seismic Research Center, based in Trinidad and Tobago, continues to monitor the situation and emphasize that the location and magnitude are preliminary and may be updated following further analysis. The Eastern Caribbean sits along the boundary of the Caribbean and North American tectonic plates, making it one of the most seismically active regions in the world. Residents across Antigua and Barbuda felt a sharp jolt Monday morning as tremors from a magnitude, well, they said 5.2, and then this says, up here says 6.7. So I guess Antigua got the 5.2. Where it started got the 6.7, but we felt it across here. I'm surprised we're not included in this news article. I'm shocked you didn't feel anything over there, man. I can't hear you.
Maybe I'm not so easily shaken. I guess.
My I looked at him, he looked at me. I see the lights moving, I see the sign moving. I said, no, this is an earthquake. I can feel myself moving from side to side.
Well, I saw the expressions on both of your faces, but I honestly, I didn't feel anything.
Wow, look at you being lucky over there, it didn't shake. So next time I have to get you the glass and come over there. Because it shook over here. I was like, what is this good morning? And that was about the time, because when I looked up there, I saw it there. And then after that, I just went looking like, was there an earthquake? Because once I feel these things, I instantly go looking to find what we would say about this. So, my gosh. When it's not one thing, it's the other. They're expecting a storm over there, and we are having earthquakes over here. Oh, boy. Well, as we continue along, we know Dominica is celebrating their Creole Music Fest. I see they almost have the same lineup that we had for Music Festival. And I saw a photo of two country leaders, that of Dominica, the Honorable Roosevelt Scarrett, and Minister Gaston Brown. And the headline says, 3 World Bosses. And I'm like, should all leaders be in stuff like that?
It shows you their egotistical aura or attitude.
Well, I know technically in Antigua, Gaston is called the world boss. Well. That's one of the nicknames I know that they call him as, Uncle Gassi, Gaston, all kind of name they have for him.
Why I kind of cringe when I hear that, it is because when our leaders are among its citizenry, they have all kind of big names, world boss and all that kind of stuff. But the world boss is in our vicinity right now, doing as it wishes, because that is the only way I can term that entity.
Are they really the world boss though? Because if they were, then everything would have been under control. They're the world boss in certain
Well,
parts.
I would say, I don't like having to say it, but I would have to say they act as if they're the world boss, because look at how they're doing things. Look at how they're in our area. Just today now in the news, it's the 10 ship blown up. No redress, no recourse. I mean, you would think, this is why I say we're still going through colonialism, you know. You would think that and this is again why some people have got to be aware of this thing called democracy. Because yes, you say you have democracy, but shouldn't be democracy move to the extent where you deal with people in a fair way, because it is the policy of quote unquote democracy. But here you come in our vicinity because you see us as insignificant little things that you can step on, and you bomb ships, you kill people, and we don't have any proof of what you're saying if it is true. If you really felt, and if you really wanted to go down the road of being truthful and moving in a democratic manner, you would think that of those 10 ships that you bombed, speaking to the United States of America, you would have gotten those 10 ships, carted them into an area, shown us the drugs that they had, go through some process where you can say, well, okay, you are caught with X, Y, Z, and you're going to have to go to court, and you're going to have to be tried, and you have to go through due process in a so-called, quote-unquote, democracy. But we're not seeing that. So honestly, what we're seeing is a colonialistic dictatorship.
But why is this Secretary of Defense constantly putting, using his social media to announce what is happening? Why?
Because he's just being braggadocious.
But what if they haven't done, what if it isn't 10? I'm just saying, right? Don't get me. What if it isn't 10? Why is he trying to escalate something that could probably be de-escalated they go back where they come from and leave the folks over there? Because as people say, sometimes the drugs aren't coming from there.
But it's not about drugs. It's not about drugs.
I understand, Quint. I understand.
It's
But you know that's the headline. I know.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is we, the Caribbean people, and especially our media, need to bring the truth to the people. Our medias are too passive. Even with this SS whatever, right? I spoke here about seeing the picture, this marketing strategy where they create something with AI and they show you this beautiful range across the mountains, and the media, I hear media voice saying, and this is what it's proposed to be, and they say they're going to build houses and they're going to be development, and instead of the media saying to us, well, this is what they said, but is it likely to be envisioned? Is it a true fact? And why is it that this looks so spectacular, but the amount of money we hear, the maximum amount of money we hear is $50 million? We know that what we see in that AI projection goes into the billion, because we see a whole range across a mountain shaped like a U-shaped area, right? This is what the media is supposed to be doing. But the media just accepts and is gullible. And the people, look what is happening in Trinidad and Tobago. People see the ships come in, and people hear people, well, you know, I want to go on the ship, I want to visit, I would want to have nothing to do with that. What are you doing in our area? Why are you just bombing ship? You understand? You see how we accommodate the people who are doing us bad things? Hello, caller.
Morning again, guys. Quint, you're so right. It have nothing really to do with any drugs. I mean, they boldly say that it's the oil they want, and they boldly said they want to remove Maduro. So the lady that got the the peace award can be ruler over there.
Yeah.
They're not, listen me, men have become so brazen right now that they're not hiding what they're doing. That's how brave the devil is. He boldly put it in your face and like Quinn said, they know the Caribbean, we don't have any warship or any weapon to fight them back. So that's why they feel like they can just go in the Caribbean waters and do as they want. I mean, but again, the Bible, what people don't like to hear about the Bible talk about wars and rumors of wars. Now imagine you got these big warships in the Caribbean waters. What do you think they're going there for? To play pity patty cake? No, it's because they want to start a war with Venezuela and to get the oil. And Quinn, this thing in Nevis with these people. I saw a picture of one of the men that I guess is part of this thing. And Quinn, when I look at him, all I see is the men with the white hood over their head. He look like one of them with the white hood. That I wouldn't say what it is, but you know what a white hood is. It looks like one of them that wear the white hood.
Yeah.
So when I look at him, I say people got to be leery about who they come in the country because
but caller, hear this. How can a people? This is where I say you extrapolate and you analyze. How can a people who are saying to you out of one side of their mouth, we're going to help you with hospitals, and we're going to help you with development, and we're going to help you with your infrastructure. But yet still, if it is true, they put in front of you a contract that says if they renege, it's in the millions, but if you renege, it's in the billions. Don't you see that these people don't care about you? Even in the contract they put to you, they're scamming you. But yet still you believe that they're going to bring development to you? I mean, how do our leaders fall for this? I told them from the very beginning to leave it alone, you know. From the very beginning, I told them to I told those in the federal cabinet, see what is happening now, let Mark stand on his own. But no, for whatever reason, they decided to take it up and run with it, and it's going from bad to worse.
But you know, in a case like this, Quinn, I think the people should be in the street every day demonstrating, both in St. Kitts and in Nevis, because Nevis tomorrow, Nevis today could be St. Kitts land tomorrow. Yeah. Because the thing about it, you don't trust our government, our leaders. They're not trustworthy people. You brought up a thing talking about a past leader. And the thing about it is, you say if the past leader running things, the past leader and the former leader and this leader, they're all in the same boat, is the same party. So you shouldn't expect nothing better from none of them. They're in the same party. So this one gonna just pick up where the other one was, because remember that one, he know all about Dubai. He got this and that in Dubai. So he don't mind bringing them to our country to take over because they love the highlight. And you see, they could afford to go here because they don't secure themselves in Dubai. So they could run to Dubai and run here and run there. But the people, the average man can't get up and run gone away. People got to be very aware, very, very aware. I think people should be demonstrating in the street down there and say, no, they don't want this man. They don't want no autonomy, nobody with no autonomy in their country. Come segregate yourself and then put us. I mean, this is ridiculous. Quinn, have a good day.
Yeah. Well.
Oh, boy.
You see, if you look at what is happening in Trinidad and Tobago with, what is her name?
Kamala Persad-Bissessor.
Kamala Persad-Bissessor. I always have a problem with that name.
Just remember Kamala.
Yeah, with Kamala. Let me go to the phone lines. Hello, good day.
Yes, good morning, Quint. Good morning to you and the listeners.
Morning.
Cortesia, good morning as well, Cortesia.
Morning.
Yeah, the world, don't forget, the world boss, the real world boss, has made himself, his presence felt this morning. And I don't know if that hurricane hit Jamaica yet, but, you know, that Lady Melissa is showing herself as well. That's who the real world boss is. But anyway, this evening in Nevis, there's going to be a town hall meeting about that proposed Destiny project and possibly continued discussion on the SSC law. This is where everyone in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis have to go and make their presence felt tonight on Nevis.
Hold a minute there. There's another caller. Hello?
Yes, Quint. Yes, I will listen.
Okay, go ahead, Burl.
We're not gonna let this opportunity tonight passes, and then from tomorrow we start talking a different tune. Just like when that bill went through the first reading, second and third reading went through. Some of us did not pay attention to the first reading. I think that was in July. And, you know, we were busy and we were distracted jumping and waving during Culturama. And this jumping and waving in the Federation is a distraction, and it's surely getting us slowly. The geopolitics that's going on in the Caribbean. Well, let me before I go to that, I'm going to stress this consultation tonight in Nevis. Very, very important. This is where we
who is this consultation with? What is
the consultation is going to be with the people by the NIA government about the proposed Destiny project. This is where we have to go.
With the people and the Mark Brantley faction?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, and I'm going to stress this. This is where we have to go to make our presence felt and to get the information, whether you're for or against this project. We have to make ourselves available. I'm not going to hear that somebody from Credit Good tomorrow going to say, oh, man, I couldn't make it to that meeting. I don't want to really hear that. They're right there on the ground. And this is where we have to go and face Mark Brantley and tell him if we are against this project or not. That's all I'm going to say about that. We know what I'm saying. That's all I'm going to say to that. The geopolitics in the Caribbean, you know, there's reports that came out that there have been some planes flying over, military planes flying over St. Vincent yesterday. When they flew over, the internet is possibly get knocked out, whether they're jamming the internet or not. As CARICOM nations in the Caribbean, I feel that we should have spoken as one unit. We have seen America picking us off one by one. Down in Trinidad and Tobago, they already have access down there. I don't see why they need access in Grenada as well, because Trinidad and Tobago, you can't get no closer to Venezuela. Me, personally, I don't feel like that was a good move by that lady president there in leader in Trinidad. The lady who's the new leader in Trinidad, I don't believe that was a good move to move away from CARICOM and to have given America access, because once America pulls away later on, you know, and immediately now,
the thing, Burl, the thing is with her, it is an example of how politicians play politics.
We suppose we in the Caribbean, if we so well want our region to stay a zone of peace, we should be staying collective. Immediately, Venezuela is already now looking at Trinidad as an enemy. And that should not really be. I mean, you're such a close neighbor. Why you want to be enemies? The one that's coming from far away, they don't really care about what's going on in the Caribbean like that. Their objective is to get access to this natural resource called oil.
Burl, are you aware of the history of the Dragon oil deal?
No.
You see, this is the thing. Nobody knows about what's happening, so you can't know why.
Enlighten the listeners. Enlighten the listeners. But I'm talking from what I'm seeing. I'm bringing my own.
You
voice,
see, when everybody
views.
when everybody speaks only from what they see, you have what you call a reaction, and you have a reaction across different factions. That is why I made the statement that Kamala is playing politics. It is kind of tight for me to go into the history, but I'm going to try to give you a synopsis. When what you say her name is again?
Camilla.
Camilla was in
Assad,
when she was in opposition. There was a party in power, and they were going through the process of brokering a deal with Venezuela called the Dragon Oil Deal. The deal is that Venezuela has the oil. The Dragon Oil wells are in Venezuela, right? Venezuela has the oil, but the pipeline, Trinidad and Tobago has the pipeline and the refinery, right? The pipeline and the refinery are American owned. But there were other deals like ExxonMobil and so forth that were brokering that deal. When she was in opposition, she said everything bad about that deal. She wanted it to fail. She said if she got in power, she would not have nothing to do with it. She won. From the time she got into power, she said, this deal is dead. I don't want anything to do with it. Then she goes up to the U.S., she speaks with Marco Rubio, and she comes back, and all of a sudden she says, there's something in the works, something is going to work out. Lo and behold, next thing we see some things falling into place. We hear that a certain individual got a Nobel Peace Prize. She happens to be residing in Venezuela. She's the individual they want to prop up to be the next leader, because what they want to do is to get rid of the present leader, and having gotten rid of that present leader, they put their puppet there, and then they continue with the Dragon deal. But now the United States of America has ownership of everything. That is why we're having this escalation. As long as Maduro is alive, America cannot get what they want, because Venezuela has sovereignty. The oil is Venezuela's own. And you see, it is all because Venezuela. Who was the leader before Maduro? What was his name?
Chavez.
Mm-hmm.
Chavez and the United States got along very well, you know, because Chavez and the United States, because of those other oil dealers and so forth, America was getting oil cheap, almost free. But when Chavez decided, you know what, I don't like this deal. This is my oil, and he nationalized Venezuela's oil, and America made them enemies. America seized Venezuela's assets around the world, put all kind of embargo on them, crippled Venezuela's society. That is why Venezuela started to run all over the world, intentionally doing this because America, and this is why I say colonialism is still going on. These superpowers mean that they must not pay and give you fair price for what they want. They must get it free. And that is why we have the problem.
Got that. Yeah, thanks for that, man. And so it may as well they go ahead and give Trump the Nobel Peace Prize then.
But Burl, all of this information is out there. It is out there for you to peruse and find.
Yeah. So lastly, man, because I know we got another caller, man, Deacon Mitchell up in Grenada. I don't know why he's taking so long to make that announcement. Yes or no? Is it so difficult to say yes or no?
I saw something that said he said no, along with Antigua.
Well, I hope he said no by now, because we know a toddler can say yes and no in like seconds. Yeah. You know, a toddler learning to speak can say yes or no in seconds. Why are you taking this long? But I hope he did by now, Captain. So thanks for that bit of information. And it seems like maybe there had been an 11th strike. I saw something between last night and this morning. There might have been an 11th strike on one of those knockers, the so-called ships that's peddling narco in the Caribbean. I don't know, but from what I remember so far, it's been 43 people that's been killed.
Yeah, I
innocently.
just saw 43.
Innocently.
Yeah.
Yeah, innocently. And we just need the Caribbean region to
But
stay collective, man.
But Burl, there's another lesson too. You see, when I come here and I keep telling people, I keep telling the Caribbean people and black people around the world that yes, it is one thing that we have reached a level of comfort and we feel we are free, but as long as we remain passive, that freedom could be taken away just like
Well,
that.
let me correct it. I saw something else here now that says that the Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell has not said no to the U.S. Rather, he has publicly commented on continuing good relations with the United States and has met with U.S. officials, including Secretary of State Mark Rubio, to discuss strengthening cooperation. He has emphasized the importance of maintaining and building upon the strategic security, economic, and cultural ties between Grenada and the U.S. So he hasn't said no yet. So that other article,
That's
maybe
where's that leader from?
Deacon Mitchell?
Yeah.
Grenada.
Okay, I just wanted to be sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Burl, imagine what would happen if a war breaks out. You see how our freedom and our daily luxury and where we prefer to be silent, don't protest anything, let it just go, and you see how quick it can be eroded. I'm going to keep my fingers crossed and hope this doesn't happen, because we're hearing other aspects too, because we're hearing that China is helping Venezuela with forces and Russia is helping them with missiles. We don't know these are facts, but these are the things that we're hearing. Russia and China are not going to just sit back and allow their interests to be, because United States feel that it's all about them, you see, but there are other factions here in play.
But Quint, I don't know if you realized yesterday, the phones weren't working, right?
Yes.
I was wondering what was going on. I'm going to ask a question this morning.
Well, Flo has sent out something to say they're aware that there are certain problems, because I was trying to send some messages, because I'm not much of a phone person. I prefer to text.
Okay.
And I couldn't, and I see today that Flo has sent out a message apologizing. But then you heard Burl say that planes fly over and then things get disrupted.
Yeah, and I actually saw that, because, once people say something, I go looking to see what I can find, and I actually saw that, and it read that they flew over St. Vincent. Apparently, they're in the vicinity of Venezuela. And the jets, according to the article, came from the base in Puerto Rico.
Well.
So, yeah, they're doing that's what it says, stealth bombers.
Okay, Burl.
I don't think Burl's there.
He's on. His phone is still thing. Okay, Greg.
Yes, Quint?
Yeah.
Cartons here.
Hi, Greg.
Yes. First of all, I would like to say that we need to become a republic and get out the British Commonwealth, and the quicker the better. Now, another thing, a little thing that I've heard years ago. Two elderly person told me something. One of them was my great grandmother, and the other one was a male friend of the family. And both of them told me that years back, good amount of years back, in Nevis, they had covered up a vent, and it caused a lot of earthquake in St. Kitts and Nevis. They say you could hear the earthquake them coming. So, as we were talking about earthquake this morning, and as we are talking about development in Nevis, that is something I decided that I was going to repeat what I was told. Now, also concerning, the lady for Trinidad, I think her name is pronounced Kamla, Kamla, Kamla. Yes, but you see, we in the Caribbean, we have been living in the atmosphere of a false peace and false security. And because our false peace and our peace and security are not based or rooted in the Bible, it's rather based and rooted in the designs of man. And because of that, it is false. And it must come to an end in God's own time. Now, like I say, we need to be careful. We need to just do things the Bible way, and that is how we are going to prosper. All other ways, and they are all disobedient to the word of God, they will fail us and destroy us in the end. And as someone said, correctly said, I believe, democracy is two wolves and a lamb voting for what is for lunch. That's how I heard someone describe democracy as. Two wolves and a lamb voting what will be for lunch. Anyhow, all the best, Jesus bless. The Bible is the only answer for us for all of life. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Greg. So, Clint, I have a little article here, and it says, let me get it. It's from Nowcast, and it says, the U.S. military flew supersonic B-1 bombers up the coast of Venezuela. So they flew two of them, so that's why they had. So it's two planes that went up that way and passed St. Vincent.
We have a caller. Hello,
Caller, go ahead. You're live in Island T.
Hi, I'm back. Hortensia, I'm Quint.
Hi.
I just want to weigh in on the geopolitics of the region. If my memory serves me right, I think it was Virginia Charles, the Prime Minister of Dominica, when the decision by the U.S. and CARICOM, she was the leader of CARICOM, or the OECS, or CARICOM, back then. This time around, the leadership happens to fall under the purview of St. Kitts and Nevis and our Prime Minister Dr. Joe. And I really can empathize with Dr. Joe, a young man. Why I say so? Because I listened to a little news briefing in St. Vincent and the Grenadines by Dr. Ralph Gonzalez, where he updated his nation about where CARICOM stands, how CARICOM is going to lend support to Grenada. Whatever Grenada decides to do, they will lend support. That was a decision taken by all CARICOM members, maybe with the exception of Trinidad and Tobago. So I am wondering if Mr. Ralph Gonzalez is the spokesperson for CARICOM, because why I'm wondering is that there are some information that should be disseminated by, I would want to believe, the head of CARICOM, the leader of CARICOM, and I'm not hearing it. At the same time, St. Kitts and Nevis, we are assertive, we are here to stay, and whenever it comes for the rotation to St. Kitts and Nevis to be on the pedestal, so to speak, I need to hear the voice of my Prime Minister, because I've been hearing the voices of other Prime Ministers in the area when they hold the leadership, where they hold the hem of those positions. It is a tough time for a Prime Minister to be as the leader of CARICOM, but nonetheless, he has to shoulder that responsibility. I don't know if he's in his correct mental faculties, or I am speculating why I'm not hearing from our Prime Minister at that level. Information is supposed to be disseminated to the nations. And at least he should set up something locally here where he will have briefings on these areas. Apart from St. Kitts and Nevis, he will have briefing at the CARICOM level so that the journalists could really get a fair information as to what the development is taking place within the regions and how it is. Because, like, we are on the verge of war. a peace, a zone of peace is really on the verge of war. And that has far-reaching implications for us, our ways of life. So please, Mr. Prime Minister, we need briefing here because it was good that I heard it from a briefing in St. Vincent and the Grenadines by browsing and finding this clip on YouTube. But we in St. Kitts and Nevis need to hear it. We in St. Kitts and Nevis need representation at their level. And whenever the rotation comes for us to hold it, which is few and far between, we need to hear your voice, Mr. Prime Minister. Thanks for listening.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you for contributing. And I see something here that says Wayne Sturge, he's the defense minister in Trinidad, as the USS Gravely docks in Port of Spain amid growing U.S.-Venezuela tensions. Trinidad and Tobago defense minister Wayne Sturge spoke with Al Jazeera, addressing the nation's delicate position between two powerful rivals. Sturge emphasized that national security remains a top priority and called for calm as regional waters see unprecedented military buildup. The last time I heard people say, "Oh, nothing's gonna happen," well, folks in Ukraine, when they were talking about the war, and the Ukrainians were, "No, nothing's gonna happen, and look what happened. I'm praying and hoping nothing happens at all.
Well, the way things are going right now, it seems more leaning towards the negative than the positive, but don't give up faith, don't give up hope. Let's hope that cooler heads will arise. The thing, though, that I keep saying is if you look at what is happening, there's an entire world that exists, and no one is saying anything. There's Europe, there's Spain, there's French, there's the British, there's all over the world, and they're just watching and spilling the same rhetoric that Trump is pushing, even though within their hearts they know that the rhetoric is not right and true. But you see that they're just sitting there and listening because they know whatever the spoils are, they will reap the benefits. If America does what it usually does, which is what Europe did in the past, they will reap the benefits of the spoil. They'll just continue to do business as usual with the United States of America, and we fall by the wayside. So you see the things sometimes when we're telling you things and you say, oh, you know, you're just alarmist. You're just bringing back, leave the past is gone. Well, Marcus Garvey said, when you forget your past, you are doomed to relive it. Hello, caller.
Good morning, Brother Quinn.
Go ahead. Go ahead, but be brief because we're fast approaching when we'll have to end this show.
Winston, welcome is live and well, and I love you. And my dignity is your dignity.
Well, before you go on, I would like you to at least make a public apology for what happened some time ago. I mean, and then you can always go ahead.
Okay. I am sorry if I caused any misunderstanding to all the listeners and you, Brother Quinn. I deeply, profoundly apologize for such, and I will try not to let such thing happen again.
Okay, apology accepted.
Thank you. Perspective and my opinion on the Nevis, Mark Brantley, I consider it a bluff. That big gap of, I stand for correction, 75 billion versus 25 million, whichever one falls, flip-flop. I think this is a bluff. And I believe the Premier is working so hard of trying to get that money that they anticipate in this deal, should it go forward. But let the Nevis people and all who are listening, this is a BLUFF, okay? And we must not fall into that cacamania. So don't be frightened. Nothing has done finalized yet, but it's all in the name of the Judas concept. I will leave it right there. I respect the time. Thank you.
Okay, well, we're just about ready to wrap up. So, Potenza, is there anything you want to say? Mr. Socrates is already here in studio.
Okay. No, just that we have a good Monday and we'll keep you posted. I was just looking at more stories and I saw something where Kamala said she is not part of any thing that has to do with disposing the president, of Venezuela.
Yeah, but if she's not having anything to do with it, why is it that she could not continue or pick up from where the former leader left off? Why did she have to go to the U.S.? And all of her rhetoric has been like regurgitating what the U.S. has said. And she knows that the oil is in Venezuela. And hear this thing, Hortensia. Imagine that, we say, oh, Venezuela, Maduro is bad. But here he was trying to broker a deal where they had the oil, we will get the oil through your pipelines to you, and whatever you sell, we share, the difference. Here's what the United States says, and you can research this. The United States says to Kamala Prasad, if you're going to do this deal, it's not going to be in money. You can't pay. This is why they squash it. You can't pay Venezuela in money. You have to pay them in kind. Venezuela says no, because how I'm going to be sending oil to you through your pipelines? You're going to make money off of it, and then what? You're going to give me back the refined oil? No. I send it to you so it could be refined, sold, and we share the difference in the monies. You understand? So people need to research what is going on. So Kamala, she knows exactly what is. Kamala.
No,
Pamela.
Kamala.
Listen, Kamala, Shamela, Smanella,
Kamala.
Vanilla, whatever.
Or just say Prasad Basessa.
I made a mistake with her name, but I intentionally continue the mistake because I'm not doing twos with this woman right now. Okay, so let's take a bit of a commercial break.
Or are we going to end it because you said Mr. Socrates is here?
Yeah, 9:57.
Okay.
So he's already here. So I'm going to end it now. You have something else you want to input?
Nah, just to have a great Monday and let's keep a watch on what's happening and don't ever think it's not going to happen to us.
Yeah, well,
That's
like
all.
I said, how do they say? They say prepare for the worst, but wish for the best.
Yeah, prepare for the worst, but wish for the best.
Yes,
Yeah.
okay.
Hi, this is Adia, your reigning junior Calypso monarch for the primary school section. I think by now we all know that screen time is a hot topic all over the world. But don't worry, I'm here to help by giving you tips on what you can do instead of being on a screen all the time. So, here's a tip for you. Too much screen time can actually make us feel sad, anxious, or grumpy. Research from the University of Michigan found that kids who spend less time on screens and more time playing outside or with friends feel happier. Choose activities that make you smile. This message was brought to you by me, Adia, in collaboration with this radio station.
Don't throw those bottles away. Turn them into money today. Vitamalt bottles equal cash in your pocket. It's super easy. Just take those empty Vitamalt bottles to any Cara Brewery distribution truck or any drinks depot in St. Kitts and Nevis. We're keeping our beautiful Twin Island paradise clean. Vitamalt bottles equal cash back. Keep it clean. Keep it green. Vitamalt bottle returns. Your bottles, your cash, your island.